Hey everybody, welcome. Good to have you here tonight at, is that you, Pastor? Yeah, he gets really into it, man. Someone takes the stage. Yeah. Hey, good to have you all here tonight. Listen University Speakers Night on campus here in beautiful far southeast Mesa, Arizona. If you're ever in town, come and join us. Live every Thursday night, this time 7 o'clock, hosted by Listen University. Listen University is a brand new company. When I say brand new, I mean we're opening this week. It's happening right now. So Listen University hosts Speakers Night every week, which is an hour speaker that's going to come up and share with you what I like to refer to as diverse education. That's what we're all about, education that inspires you to be a better person, healthier person, do better things with your life. And we really want education and teaching that you're not going to get somewhere else. And so a lot of our speakers are very quirky and bizarre, like Pastor Tim was our speaker. So you're talking bizarre and quirky, and Jason Payne. I mean, you know, now you're looking top of quirky hood right there. And so it's all about quirky. And tonight we deliver big time on the whole, no, he's not quirky. His family's here on the front row. I need to talk to you over here if I'm going to say anything about him. Tonight's speaker that I'm really privileged to introduce, I met him about probably 3 months ago, I'm guessing. His name is Rob Finder. And he's pretty outstanding. I've met him for lunch a couple of times. We've talked about business. We've talked about his vision, not only for the company, but for his life. And this is somebody who feels like he has a calling. Would that be fair to say? Yeah, I'm asking his wife, and she's nodding. And he kind of has this calling where he wants to help people have better health and fitness. And he's working on his health certificate right now. But he does have a story that's going to move you, I think, very compelling. Talk about where he's been, why he has the vision he has. So please help me welcome to the stage tonight's speaker series speaker, Mr. Rob Finder.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kevin, for that quirky introduction. So, before I get started, I really do want to thank Listen University for the opportunity, Speakers Night. What a wonderful opportunity for folks like me and folks like all the other speakers and those that are yet to come and share a message that they feel inspired to share. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Robin, for this opportunity. And, of course, our Jason and Keaton and taking care of the video. Want to also thank you for being here with me, whether you're live or whether you're online. Thank you so much for being here, sharing this time with me tonight. There's a lot of competing activities out there. We've got a lot of things going on in our lives, and for you to take the time and make the decision to choose to be here tonight, I think speaks admirably of you, and I want to thank you for that. So, before we get into the topic, which is nutrition basics tonight, I'd like to just introduce myself. As Kevin mentioned, my name is Rob Finder. I do really like the name Finder. I'm going to share a little story. It's worked well with me growing up and throughout my life. My last name's Finder, so I always, obviously, as you can already imagine, hey, did you find her? So yes, I've already found her. Her name's Tracy. She's right here, and she's terrific. Also, Finder is an anagram of friend, so if you rearrange the letters in Finder, it spells friend, which is really cool, and it works very well. So I am your friend. I hope you can consider me your friend. That's just always been a great thing. I also get to charge a Finder fee, so there is that. And Finder Keeper always worked in my favor as well. So who am I? Well, I'm just a guy that grew up in Iowa. From Iowa, we moved. My dad was a field test engineer for John Deere Tractor Works, and he moved around quite a bit. So we lived in Iowa, we lived in Nebraska, Arizona, Colorado, back to Iowa, back to Arizona. And I've been here since 1978. My family, mom and dad were terrific. They were just salt of the earth individuals. And I am the third child in 6 kids. There's 5 boys, and then there's a bookend daughter at the end, Rachel. I am the third, so I'm right there in the middle. My brother, I got 2 brothers, and we fight for the middle spot because there's really no middle in 6, right? Because I'm 3.5, so I guess there's that. My wife, Tracy, we got married in 1992. Been together for quite some time, through good times, thick, thin, all of those great things. She's a terrific partner. She's a perfect partner for me. She is a strong, independent woman, but she's simultaneously soft, kind, and caring. And that just really works well for me. We had, after we got married in 92, 2 years later, we had a son, Adam, 1994. He's here with us tonight, so thank you for being here, son. Adam, great young man. He works hard at his job, and he also is in school. When he's in school, he's studying communications with an emphasis on foreign language, and we're really proud of him there. 9 years after Adam, we had a daughter, Ava. She's currently not with us here tonight. Hopefully, she just couldn't attend, unfortunately. She's currently just a superstar sophomore in high school. She goes to American Leadership Academy in Queen Creek, and she's on the volleyball team, does a great job there. They're currently undefeated, so go Patriots, okay? And she's also, when she's in karate, she's really close to her 2nd degree black belt in Kempo Karate, so that's kind of outstanding. So right now, with her being 15, I feel pretty confident that she can handle herself when she starts dating. So that's a great thing for us. So that's a little bit about me. And now my topic tonight is nutrition basics. We're not going to get into nutrition basics right yet. That's going to be a little bit later, but that's the topic. And the question is, why talk about nutrition basics now? I mean, really, you all, I'm sure, have been taught proper nutrition since you were a kid, right? We had Schoolhouse Rock when I was a kid. We don't have it anymore, unfortunately, which is a sad thing. But you can check it out on YouTube. So why nutrition basics? We all know what to eat. There's the eat this, not that books that are out there. Everybody's been educated, but yet why? We've got an epidemic in the United States of just really poor health. And so I think it's timely that we talk about it now. But why Rob Finder talk about it tonight, right here in 2018? To get there, I'm going to take us back to 2011. One day in 2011, I was in my backyard overlooking the pool. It was a beautiful day. I remember it distinctly. It was November 11th, 2011. So it was 11/11/11. I just got off the telephone with a very good friend of mine, Steve. Steve and I do projects together, and we were doing a project currently at that time, and he does educational type things, and we were working together. And he and I were talking, and I had this moment, I will say, where as I'm overlooking the pool, and maybe you've had them, you know, those moments where your mind just opens up, and it seems like you have a flood of pure intelligence just hit you. I'm sure Pastor Tim's experienced that quite a bit, right? So, but that pure intelligence just seems to come in out of nowhere, and it's like, oh my gosh, that is very inspiring, it's very enlightening, and it's just inspiration. Well, I was pondering that experience, and it was a beautiful day, really. It really is wonderful. I can't even begin to tell you how great that day was. Maybe it was that experience that I just had that made it so great, right? But it was time for me to go pick up my daughter from school. So she just went to school around the block. So I jumped on my bike, and I'm riding to the school. And as I go towards the school, I realized that I've got tears streaming down my face. Now, what's that got to do with nutrition? We'll get there, okay? But I realized, where are these tears coming from? And I get to the school, and I'm waiting for her. So I quickly wipe because, can't let her see her dad cry, right? Because macho, right? So I'm pondering why I'm crying. What's the source of the tears? And I realize that inspiration that hit me told me that I need to go back to 1998. Here I am in 2011 having an experience about go back to 1998, review what you learned in 1998 as it relates to health and wellness, and start doing that with a few modifications. And those few modifications to that I did in 1998, which I'll talk about here in just a few moments, was I really need to eat a lot less meat. I eat meat. I love meat. If anybody in 2011, if you asked me, Rob, what's your favorite food? I'd say steak, right? I mean, steak, ribeye, porterhouse, New York strip, all of it, right? I'm a steak guy, and I will tell you steak. If you ask my friends what's Rob's favorite food back in 2011, there'd be two answers, and I could probably ask these two right here, and they would say steak or chicken wings. Because, I mean, come on, right? Chicken wings, still a weakness. So I realized that those tears was a result of me grieving and mourning my relationship with meat changing or needing to change. So that's the experience in 2011. And I did nothing in 2011 with that inspiration. Now, there's a statement that I always use, and I should have made a slide for it, and maybe you've heard it, maybe you haven't. But the statement, it's really a math equation, I suppose. It says inspiration minus expression equals depression. Maybe you've experienced that, where you've been inspired to do something, and maybe it was inspiring to act now, do this now, and then you don't. And as you don't act, then later you regret that, and depression sets in, and it's like, man, why didn't I do that? Well, I didn't in 2011. I didn't. I ignored it. Why? I can't answer that. But in 2013, I get the message again. Hey, Rob, it's time to change your diet, change your eating habits, change your lifestyle, get yourself healthy, because you have a message to deliver. You know what I did? Well, let me rephrase that. Do you know what I didn't do? Okay. I didn't change. And I ignored that inspiration at that time as well. So in 2015, it seems like whether it, pick your flavor, right? Whether it's God, Mother Nature, the universe, pure source, whatever you choose to believe in, it seems that source contacts me every other year, every odd year. And in 2015, that was a great year for me as well. And I remember I'm driving to work, and I get that same message, and I ignore it in 2013. So 2015, I'm going to jump ahead. 2015, I'm driving to work. I have a 50-mile commute to work. I'm about a mile from our house. And again, and this is a really singular experience. It's one of those experiences that I'll never forget. I'm driving to work. I just turned onto Signal Butte Road, for those of you that live nearby. And I'm right there by the apple plant that never became an apple plant, okay? So I'm right there, and in very audible form and terms, I hear a voice, and it calls me by name, which is weird, because I thought there's just a few people that knew my name. But here, I get this voice in my head, in my mind, in my heart, wherever it was. I couldn't tell you where it was, but it was, Rob, you need to get healthy. You need to get your message of health, wellness, and inspiration out to the masses. And I remember that so distinctly because it affected me to such a point where I actually looked up at the ceiling of the cab, even though it was in my mind. It seemed like it came out of the sky, out of heaven. I'm a Christian and I believe in God. And so I looked up in the heavens and I said, I hear you. I'm not ready. And the voice came back immediately. I get it, but I need you to get ready soon. That was 2015. You know what I didn't do? I didn't get ready. It's kind of weird. I didn't get ready. So I realized over the next year or so that I'm human, and so I'm afraid of what most humans are afraid of, change, right? I'm a terrible listener. My wife tells me I need hearing aids, which I have but don't wear, right? Because I know better. But so I've done nothing. I was afraid of change. But over the next couple of years, I really understood that humans are driven by these programs. We're really machines. And there's two specific programs that run in all of us. And the first program I like to call a desire to look good, right? We have a desire to look good. Every one of us wants to look good. My good friend and Listen University faculty member, Sean Murphy, he would tell you that that is an addiction to approval, right? I have an addiction to approval. I want you to approve of what I'm saying up here right now. That's my addiction to approval. I have a fear of looking bad, right? So I want to look good. So understanding that I want to look good is a key. And then the second program that's running in all of us, and it's funny because we don't really know it until somebody tells us about it, and then it's like, oh, wow, that makes sense. The second program is if I can't look good, I at least don't want to look bad. Okay? So I'll repeat that. If I can't look good, I at least don't want to look bad. And so what that really means, and I grew up, my career prior to now has been in corporate America in a lot of training and management capacity. So in management capacities, what that means is I've got a group of peers and they're all scorecarded together, right? It's me against all of my peers. And let's say that there's 10 of us. Well, we're all metriced and scorecarded on certain performance levers, KPIs we call those, key performance indicators, right? Well, when those KPIs come out, if those KPIs look good, I'll be at the top of the list. And that looks good. And I feel great about that because I get the approval, my addiction to approval, from my boss. But if I'm at like number 7 out of those 10, that doesn't look so good. And since if I can't look good, I want to avoid looking bad. So what do? And when I say I mean me and all of you. We find something else to point at. Well, at least I'm not 8, 9, or 10, right? Makes me feel a little bit better about myself, and I can shift focus to somebody else. So if I can't look good, I want to avoid looking bad. And so I avoid looking bad by finding fault, pointing fingers, blaming somebody else. Oh, well, gee, I'm late because, well, I delivered a baby on the freeway, because that looks good, right? I helped the lady deliver her baby, right? So anyway, I realized that I was allowing program 2, if I can't look good, I want to avoid looking bad, running my life. Why didn't I speak up in 2011, 2013, 2015, 2017? Because I was afraid, because I was allowing this program to run in the background and run my life. And that program would tell me all the time, Rob, look at you, you're overweight. Who's going to believe you? Rob, there's so many doctors and health gurus out there that they've already done everything. What do you have to contribute? So don't do anything. Stick around. Something else will come along that you can contribute to. Right? Does that sound familiar? I hope that I'm not the only one that's experiencing this. If it is, then it truly is quirky, Kevin. So I realized that I was allowing that programming to run my life. And it was time to break out of that stuck in inaction. Well, it's time to get moving. And what happened is, do we have this? There it is. I figured out that I was Jonah. Now, you might know Jonah. He's a historical figure. You can read about him in an ancient history book. He was a man with a message. He was inspired to deliver a message to the city and to the people of the city of Nineveh. And he said, yeah, no thanks, kind of like I've been doing for the past 7 years, right? So he said, no thanks, I'll pass. Well, then, he lives his life as I was living mine, and he got repeated messages, hey, you need to go deliver this message to Nineveh. And no, I'm okay, I'm good, thanks. I think I'll pass. Then he gets another opportunity. He says, I'm really tired of this. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm not going to do it. In fact, I'm so not going to do this. I'm going to jump on a boat and take it to another land so that I can just totally be away from Nineveh and not worry about it. And as he's cruising across the sea, going to wherever he was going, a big storm arises on the sea, and a tempest is arising. Everybody's fearful that the boat's going to capsize. Everybody's fearful that they're going to drown, right? Well, Jonah gets the thought that this is because of me. And that looks bad. He wants to avoid looking bad. So he tells the people, hey, I'm the reason the tempest is here. I'm the reason the boat's going down. Throw me overboard and save yourselves. And so here's a cat, Jonah. Maybe he wasn't a cat. Here's a man who was willing to die. He would rather die than deliver the message that he was given to go deliver to Nineveh. And so when I recognized, holy cow, I'm Jonah, that was a crazy revelation, right? Whoever thought that those stories actually have application? So I realized that I was Jonah, and it was time now to get off the boat that I was sailing towards. He was sailing on a boat that was going to capsize and drown. He's going to go death by drowning. I was on a course of death by, well, basically poor health that would eventually lead to death if I didn't change things. So it's time to deliver the message that I've been inspired to give since 2011. Tonight, we're going to talk just about some basics. I'm not going to talk about the whole expansive experience that I've had, but we'll talk about some basics. And so that's where I was. In March of 2018, I applied for life insurance, because that's a good thing to have, right? I do term life. I was told at an early age, and I don't know whether it's true or not, buy term and invest the difference, right? So that's what we've done, and that's been great. So I bought life insurance, and as you most probably know, when you sign up for life insurance, the insurance companies like to do a health profile. They like to work that up on you. So they send somebody to your house. And they come in, and they've got their little cups and their needles and all of this great stuff to take a urine specimen and a blood sample. And the young lady, she is great. She is terrific. She knew exactly how to draw blood. My mom was a nurse when I was growing up, and when she was going to school, she used to practice blood draws on the 3 older boys, and since I was the 3rd, I got it. So I have this allergic reaction to needles. I start twitching, you know. And so she did her thing, And then she left, and when she left a little card. She says, hey, Rob, here's a card. It's the website. The results will be posted there in 3 to 5 days, right? And so I said, hey, great. And she left, and I set that on my nightstand to be forgotten. And about 7, 8 days later, so it was well outside the 5 days. I hadn't heard anything back from the insurance company, but it's 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, and I'm laying there awake, and I look at my wife, and she's sound asleep, and I have this standing instruction, and the standing instruction is, you do not wake me up on Saturday. You let me wake up naturally. And since she says that, I don't want to get cut, because there's that risk, right, that I'll get cut. So I just kind of laid there and stared at the ceiling for a moment, and then I looked over and saw that card. So I picked up the card, and I said, well, I got my tablet right next to me too. I picked it up, I logged on, and I logged onto the website, and I downloaded the results. And the first two, let's see if this works. Oh, it does. The first two numbers stood out to me and made me shudder. Now, if you know what you're looking at here, this is glucose, blood glucose. That is a high number. See, it says high. See, I'm making this easy for you. It says high, okay? So it's high. As you'll see, 70 to 109 milligrams per deciliter is what your normal resting blood glucose should be. Indicative of diabetes. Now, I've got a lot of experience with diabetes, not because I have ever had diabetes, but I've got, people in my life that do. And then the hemoglobin A1C. Hemoglobin A1C, that's the amount of blood platelets, red blood platelets, that's the amount of glucose, that stick to and adhere to the red blood platelets in your blood. And that's bad. You can see here your expected range is 3.06, and I'm catching a 10.4. And that's bad. And the reason that's bad is when that glucose sticks to your blood cells, the blood cells travel through your veins and your vessels and arteries and things, and glucose molecules are jagged, and they score the walls of the veins. And then cholesterol comes in and does its job. It patches those score marks, those scratches, and it does its thing. But that continues to scratch, and it just exacerbates itself, right? And so you can see here that diabetics. I read those two things, and it's 5 a.m., maybe 5:10 at this point. And again, out of fear of getting cut, I did not notify my wife that her diabetic, okay? So that was kind of crazy, right? So here I am taking that boat to death, just like Jonah was. So it was time to do something. And I'm looking at the time, and Kevin's absolutely right. I love to visit, I love to talk, and I love to share. So I'm going to get moving along, if that's okay. So what happened is my wife and I needed to change. And I needed to take heed of the inspiration that I received over the past several years. And that was to go back to a program that my wife and I participated in 1998. So now I'm going back almost 20 years to a program that we participated in. The company's no longer in business. They've changed and done some other things and moved in a different direction. But it was really revolutionary at the time. And what my wife and I did, so in 1998, I wasn't really interested in health care or in health and wellness, but peer pressure is a wonderful thing. And I was at work one day, and I had a coworker tell me, Rob, you're getting a little thick around the middle. At that time, I was only 230 pounds. And, but yet here, this guy named Bruce, great guy, he, sorry, hope you don't mind me mentioning your name. So he mentioned, you're getting a little thick around the middle. And then that next holiday season, my aunt comes to visit, and she calls me Robbie, because that's what they called me when I was growing up. She comes to visit, and she's a very loud woman, love her dearly, but she's just very blunt and point blank. And she comes in and she says, Robbie, you're portly. And first off, I kind of did the double take. Portly? Who says that? And then I started to think, do I have to go to J.C. Penney's and shop at Husky Boys? Because I don't even know if we have Husky Boys anymore in J.C. Penney's. But so what happens is then peer pressure really gets going on you. And so Tracy and I went and joined this program, and it was a great program, pretty, terrific at the time. So at the time, in 1998, they taught us some health and wellness solutions and things. And the premise of that is your body is sick because the stuff you eat is not supposed to be ingested by humans. And so your digestive system is out of whack. And your digestive system is so full of junk that your immune system is focused on healing your digestive system, that your body is now getting all these other illnesses and sicknesses because your immune system cannot focus on the other things because it's fighting the disease in your digestive tract. Okay? So the premise is, let's heal your digestive system. So here's the solution. Properly fuel your body, right? So it's like a car. You put bad gas in it, you don't change the oil. Pretty soon that engine gets all mucked up and it starts to run very poorly. Well, food is our fuel. And so if you change the stuff that you're eating, you will just heal your digestive system naturally if you start eating the proper things. And then, of course, let the immune system fight off the other invaders. And it's an amazing thing. We went through this whole process, and inside of 9 weeks, I lost 50 pounds. And it's like, wow, that's great. That's significant, right? And so I was blown away. But another thing that really happened is my mental fog cleared up. I remember I was in a high-stress job at the time, and I was just mentally just bogged down. But as I lost that weight, clarity started to show up. And it's like, oh, my gosh. Who knew I had such great thoughts, right? And so that's where the inspired thoughts come from. So that was the solution. Now, what happens though is that wasn't really a sustainable thing. Those programs were designed by a cancer treatment center in Scottsdale for patients that would not be able to withstand the cancer protocols that they're going to be asked to go under. So it was, hey, do these things, heal yourself to a point where we can then do these things. And so that's what we did. And we did that program and we did that protocol and lost a ton of weight and felt great. But after about 2.5 years, the weight started coming on. But here's the digestive system situations. Candida and leaky gut syndrome. Interesting diseases. Candida is a proliferation of yeast throughout your body, typically due to uncontrolled diabetes, taking antibiotics, poor diets, lots of sugary foods specifically. Stress can create candida. Lack of sleep can create candida. I've been there, done that. That whole time, I was just a walking infestation. It didn't manifest outwardly on me that I'm aware of. Maybe it did by the bloated stomach. I don't know. But so candida, and it does spread. This is oral candida. That's oral thrush, if you're familiar with thrush. It's a thick mucus-like coating on your tongue and really contributes to nasty breath and all that good stuff. Athlete's foot is candida as it's extending beyond the intestine and going out into other parts of the body. And then there's leaky gut. Leaky gut syndrome is an interesting thing. People don't like to talk about it, except, well, sometimes guys do because it involves flatulence. And anytime there's a way you can make a joke about that, we kind of giggle. But leaky gut is little micro tears in your intestine that allows undigested food particles or fecal matter also to go through the gut lining, through the blood lining here, the base barrier there, and into your bloodstream. And then those particles circulate throughout your body and wreak havoc. And they can really manifest in allergies and a whole lot of skin conditions and a whole lot of other conditions. But that's the solution. Get rid of these things, and your body heals, because your body will take care of itself, and then the immune system will go off and fight all the other damage that's going on, right? So here's how leaky gut affects the whole body. So I want to just take a break for a moment and talk about keeping it simple. Find X. Here it is. Oh, let's keep it simple again. The difference between 180 and 158 is 22. How did you find your answer? Math. Okay, right? So I love these answers, not only because they're humorous, right? Name these quadrilaterals. Oh, Bob, Sam, Tedison, Caton. So those are some great names. This is one of my favorites because this would be something that I would do. Write an example of risk. This is an example of risk. I think that's brilliant. And then there's this. What is the strongest force on earth? And they have love, which the cynical teacher crossed out. I'm going to expect she's cynical. Maybe I'm being judgmental. But kids are really good at keeping things simple. And so after I lost that weight, it's now time to lose it again. So I'll tell you what we've done. Since that diagnosis in April, I immediately cut soda because I knew that's what I needed to do because I was a Dr. Pepper fiend, right? I'd do 4 with a meal, and I'd eat 7 meals a day maybe. I don't know. So that might be an exaggeration. Thank you. Yeah, she says. So I immediately cut soda, and I started eating as I was instructed back in '98. But what I like about keeping it simple is we always talk about goals, and mentors are always talking about goals, and they're always talking about BHAGs. And if you're ever familiar with BHAGs, it's a big, hairy, audacious goal, right? And I think that gets us in trouble. It gets me in trouble. I think it gets a lot of people in trouble because on New Year's resolutions roll around. Those are BHAGs, right? I'm going to climb the Eiffel Tower. I'm going to climb Mount Everest, whatever. I'm going to lose some weight. And then by the second week of January, throw in the towel, right? Because those goals are just so audacious, they're overwhelming. So I'm going to encourage us tonight, before we get into the nutrition basics here, to set some goals. It is important to set goals, but let's set goals that we know we can obtain, get a few wins under our belt, and then as we get some wins under our belt, our mind is going to start saying, hey, we can do this. And we're going to start to condition ourselves to realize that we can accomplish great things. And if we do it a step at a time, a little piece by piece, then we'll get to where we're going. So I'm going to encourage us to, as we go through these, maybe there will be some things that you want to consider changing in your life, in your lifestyle, in your eating habits. I don't know. But if there are those things that you want to feel inspired to make a change on, set some goals that are simple, that are easy to obtain so that you can get those wins under your belt. And then as things progress, you'll be able to move forward. So you're probably like me. That's just 2 shelves in my office. That's 89 books right there, all on health and wellness. Here's what I don't like about those books. They're great reads, absolutely. There's a lot of great information in them. But there's also, inside those books, typically a diet plan. I'm not a dieter. I just don't diet. I don't like the first 3/4 of that word. You know, die. Well, no thanks, I'll pass. You know. So, but what these diet plans always have is something that you cannot, what? Something that you cannot eat, right? And so what happens, at least for me, and I would expect for a lot of folks, what happens is we're so focused on the things we can't eat that we end up losing the battle from the start. Because what you resist persists. I think, did you talk about that a little bit? So what you resist persists. Also, a good friend of mine, Thomas Blackwell, also a Listen University faculty member, he has a great line that I like: what you talk about, you bring about, right? Well, if all I'm doing is talking about what I can't eat, because boy, don't we do that? We commiserate with our buddies. Oh, I'm on a diet, man. I can't have this and I can't have that, but I'm waiting for Saturday because that's my cheat day, darn it, right? So, but we're looking for that cheat day. We're looking for a reason to fail. And so I've come to find out that for me specifically, and maybe for you if it resonates, we focus on those things that we can't have, and our body finally says, hey, I'm going to win this war. I'm going to make this happen. Come on, bring it on, buddy. You're so determined, you and your willpower. Well, biology takes over and you lose. You know, you have every good intention, but you lose because biology takes over and it just slaps you down and beats you. And then we throw in the towel because, oh man, doggone, I didn't lose anything. I can't do it. But these diets are all great, you know, and those are my problems with it. So I don't diet. Tracy will she'll see me eat something sometime, like maybe a bowl of ice cream, and she'll say, that's not really on the plan. And I'll say, I'm not on a diet. Is that true? Do I say that? Absolutely. Because here's my mindset. If I have all possible foods available to me, then I have all possible choices available to me. And as I have that possible choice, I'm empowered to make those choices and make better choices. And if I choose to eat a bowl of ice cream because I haven't had an ice cream and I'm out on a double date with my good friends Mark and Ginger, there's a plug, shameless, but they want to go have some ice cream, I am not going to be the Debbie Downer that says, let's not do that because I'm on a diet. I'm going to go and I'll make a healthy choice. Maybe I'll have 1 scoop instead of 4, right? But yet the possibilities are there. Also, the possibility is there for me to just go and tag along and not indulge in ice cream. But that sometimes makes people feel weird, and so I'll indulge. I'll do that. So by having that mindset, I've given myself more power over the choices that I'm going to make. Does that make sense? I hope so. If it does, great. If it doesn't, well, we can talk about it later. So I have a personal criteria for eating, and this is great. One of my personal criteria is I could not feel hungry. That's out. If I feel hungry, I'm doing something wrong. Okay? I could not feel frustrated. If I feel frustrated, I'm doing something wrong. And I could not feel deprived. Again, this allows me to have infinite choices in what I eat. Let's get moving because we've got some time here, and I was instructed, don't be over. So here we go. So nutrition basics, certain steps towards health and wellness. I call it certain steps towards health and wellness because Wallace Wattles in his book, the name of the book just escaped me, The Secret to Getting Rich. He has a line in there that says, you can get rich, anybody can get rich if you begin to think in a certain way. And that phrase stuck out and really stuck in my mind when I first read that many, many years ago, and because it's so true. If you identify what that certain way is, and you maintain that certain way, you develop the skills, you develop the mindset, the attitude, and you just follow that certain way, and you don't stray from that certain way, I'm kind of like walking a breathalyzer test here, then you're certainly going to arrive at your destination, whether that's riches, whether that's health and wellness or whatnot. And so I really like that. So nutrition basics, again, these are just basics. These are not going to be a full-blown, this is what Rob does on his diet. We'll have that talk and conversation another time. But I want to share some basics that if you do these things, you will start to see an immediate improvement in your health. So the first and foremost, if everybody did this, we would solve a huge epidemic in the United States, and that's overweight and obesity. Consume high volumes of fruits, green vegetables, and beans. Okay? Now, why do we do that? Well, I'll tell you why. Let's see what my next slide is. Oh, hey, there's the stomach. How about that? Or a cantaloupe, I don't know. So, satiety. We eat these diets that are so restricted, we do nothing with them, because they're so restrictive. Oh, gee, I'm not going to do that because I want to eat this and I want to have that and I want to do this. Well, that's because we restrict ourselves, we restrict our calories. Everybody thinks that the secret to getting healthy or to losing weight is eat less exercise more, and then gastric bypass, right? That seems to be what people like to think is the way to lose weight. Well, I've seen so many folks and friends of mine that have had that gastric bypass surgery and then continue to just never change their way of eating. So your stomach is about the size of a cantaloupe. I went to the store today to buy a cantaloupe, but I think they were genetically modified because they were like monstrous. I said, there's no way that's my pregnant wife. That is not my stomach. So I found a little watermelon, which is really kind of cool, that is a little bit more representative of the size of your stomach. The size of your stomach holds about a liter in volume and capacity. Okay, a liter is just a little over 4 cups, 4.22 cups, if you like to do the conversion from metric. So this is indicative and representative of your stomach. Now, people restrict what they eat, or they eat poorly, and they don't fill their stomach up, and so they're never satisfied, and that's called satiety. Okay, and satiety is not just affected by calories. Satiety is also affected by the stretch of your stomach. Okay, so your stomach stretches to a certain capacity, and then you feel full, you feel satisfied. You push away from that Thanksgiving table and you say, I'm full, or you say, I'm stuffed because you ate way too much, right? And you know, sometimes when you're stuffed, you got that little protrusion going on. So if people would just eat more greens, more vegetables, let me just show you what we have here. Well, let's start with this one because I like this one. All of these represent 400 calories, okay? 400 calories. A mason jar, this is a quart. How many cups in a quart? 4, okay? 4 quarts in a cup. How many cups does your stomach hold? 4. So this is really also indicative of your stomach, right? So I can eat a potato, and I can eat 3 potatoes. I can't get all 3 in here because that's a lot of food, right? So if I ate 3 potatoes, that's 400 calories right there, and I am full. I'm satisfied. 400 calories, I'm full, right? So you can do that, and that's really great because there's a lot of great vitamins and minerals in potatoes. They really are a healthy food. I can maybe, instead of 3 of those potatoes, how about 4 sweet potatoes? Okay, I can do 4 sweet potatoes. Again, that's going to fill me up really nicely, right? A lot of great fiber in this. So the key to satiety is getting that stomach stretch. What stretches your stomach? Water and fiber, okay? So that's what we don't eat anymore. When we were a kid, it was all about fiber, right? Hey, eat some fiber. Okay, have an apple. It's full of fiber. Apple a day keeps the doctor away. You probably heard that. So that's always a great one. Or I can have that much corn. This is kernel corn. This is 400. All of these are going to be 400 calories, okay? I've measured them out today, and we probably will not eat them tonight. So, but yeah, this is 400 calories of corn. Or I can do, oh darn it, did we bring the grapes? Big old bag of grapes, 164 grapes to be exact, right? 164 grapes. So again, with grapes, big old bag of grapes, 164 grapes, it's over a pound, almost 2 pounds of grapes. Or I can have these raisins. So I've got grapes that will overflow this and really create satiety. Or I can have that many raisins. Now, what's the difference with that? Right? So the difference with this is the water's been removed. Fiber's still there. Nutrients are still there. No water. So I can eat that many raisins, or I can eat a whole thing of grapes. Now, I'd go for the whole thing of grapes because, well, I really don't like these because fruit cake, right? So anyway, also I can, let's see what else I got here. I got some great stuff. Rice, if you guys like brown rice. This is some cooked brown rice. That'll fill you up real nice. Throw a little sauce on there. It makes it really pleasant. Broccoli goes great with this stuff, by the way, or beans, right? So you can also grab some beans. Here's some kidney beans. Throw some beans and rice together. You get that all the time, right? That's 400 calories of beans, kidney beans. Legumes, phenomenal source of fiber, phenomenal source. Starch. People are going to say, well, yeah, but what about starches? Starches are bad for you. No, they're not. Cheap carbs are bad for you. And those cheap carbs are processed flours, processed sugars, those digestible carbs that are just so fast in your body. Those things are terrible for us. You know, those are the things that are bad. Starches are not. Nuts, right? Healthy for you. Yes, they are. A lot of fat in them, though. So that's 400 calories of nuts, right? So I could eat that plus the rest of the jar, okay? So love me some nuts. So oats are good. Oats are great. If you're going to eat grains, eat the whole grain, right? Now, these are not cooked. If you cook them, what would happen? They'd swell and fill you up a little bit more. Where we get into trouble is when we take the same oats, and I just ground this in my Vitamix. Vitamix, by the way, there's a shameless plug. Vitamix, get one. So this is oat flour. A little bit different, say, as we start to process things. This is going to be absorbed by your body a whole lot faster than this will. It'll release the glucose a whole lot faster. It's still better for you because it's a whole flour and it's not so refined as that white stuff that you get in the store. Or you can have, oh, this is fun, zucchini, right? My son hates zucchini. He's here so I can say that. I love zucchini. You know, you can do a lot of great stuff with it. Here's 5 zucchini. This is not 400 calories. 15 of these would be 400 calories. I just couldn't juggle. I just don't do that. So it would be fun, right? But so 15 zucchini. You can spiralize those, make noodles, those zoodles, right? Throw some tomato sauce on that, some pasta sauce, whatever. Outstanding. Love that stuff. So 15 zucchinis, that'll take care. I don't think that's for like 5 pounds. I don't think I could eat 5 pounds. I did eat 4.5 pounds of crab once, but it was crab. So, and it was an all you could eat, right? So why not? Spinach, great, high in lots of vitamins. So spinach, is this 400 calories? No, you know what's 400 calories? 10 bags, okay? Not going to eat 10 bags of that. But you know what I will do? I'll probably eat a bag, and you know what I'll put on it? I'll probably put some beans on it, and might put some rice in it. I might put some other stuff with it, and have a very filling, very satisfying meal. And what's great about this, guys, is I'm getting the nutrients out of it. This is the nutrients and the medicine that our bodies need. We stopped taking the medicine that our body said. Hippocrates said, you know, let food be thy medicine, right? And he was right, because this is what our body needs. And not just spinach, but all this stuff, right? Okay, not all this stuff, because we certainly don't need M&Ms. Now, maybe we do, because all food's available to me because I don't diet, right? But that's 400 calories of M&Ms, right? That's not even going to make it through a movie. 9 Reese's Pieces, okay? So I hope that you see what we're trying to accomplish here. Cheese. That's 400 calories of cheese, okay? That wouldn't even make a cheese crisp, would it, Adam? So, but here's the killer, guys. Here's the killer. And this will be another topic for another time. We lose the battle because our bodies are addicted to salt, sugar, and fat. And we put fat on everything. 400 calories of olive oil. This is 3 tablespoons. Okay? Do you know what they tell you in vinaigrette, when you're doing a vinaigrette salad, what the serving size is? 2 tablespoons. Holy cow. So let's have a great healthy salad, and I'm going to douse it in fat. And I took that healthy salad and just made it terrible for me. Now, is oil good for you? Sure, some oils are good for you. But you know, if you eat all of this stuff, you know what you're getting? Vegetable oil. It's in the food. You don't need to add it to the food. Okay, so we can do all of that great stuff. Maybe I got some other stuff here. I think we shared it all. Yep, shared it all. So that is number one. If we ate more greens, more vegetables, more fibrous roots, beans, legumes, things like that, you're going to fill yourself up, have a whole lot less calories going into you. That's called, there's calorie density and nutrient density. These are nutrient dense. These are calorie dense, right? Okay, so that's number one. Oh yeah, but we need animal protein. Well, we don't. Okay, here's a composition of plant versus animal-based foods. This is plant over here. This is animal-based foods over here. And you can see that you're getting phenomenal results, even better results on the plant side than you are the animal side. Now, I still love me meat. I still eat meat, and I'm not saying go vegan. I'm not saying go vegetarian. I'm saying that I am making choices where I am going down that path, and I am restricting and limiting the meat, and that's what I'm doing. But you can do what you do. Drink more water, and we're going to go here real quick, Kev. So drink more water. Soda is not water. I remember I was listening to a television show where a doctor guy, some renowned doctor, was on, and he says, oh, you guys get enough water because of the soda you drink, and I about fell out of my chair, which would have been really funny. And my wife swears by this. Use a straw. She says if you use a straw, you drink more water throughout the day. So she always has her thing with a straw, and she sips it, and she drinks, she guzzles about 1.5 gallons a day. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Is that an exaggeration? Nope. Okay. So use a straw. Okay. That was number 2. Okay. Number 1, eat more greens and all that good stuff. Number 2, drink more water. Use a straw. Okay. Here's the benefits of water. Thomas Blackwell did a great demonstration on water. We're 60 to 70% water in our bodies, and it's God's solvent, okay? He didn't create soda, he created water, and we created soda from that said water. But these are the things that it does. It carries nutrients, it helps dissolve minerals and other nutrients to make them accessible to the body. It lubricates your joints, it protects your bodies and organ tissues. A lot of great stuff, okay? So drink more water. Number 3, eliminate dairy. Dairy is tasty, right? We were talking about ice cream earlier, but it is so bad for us. Mammals are designed to nurture their young, right, with milk. After that young is nursed and weaned off of that, then they're not supposed to eat it anymore, right? Milk, dairy products especially, are to do one function, to take a calf and make him 300 pounds in 6 months. 300 pounds, okay? So what's that doing to us? And if milk's so good for us, and this is my soapbox, sorry. If milk is so good for us, why are we the highest consumer in the United States? We are the highest consumer of milk products, dairy products, and we're also, because milk does a body good, bones and muscles and all that stuff, we're also the highest rate of osteoporosis in the world. But yet we consume the most milk. Weird correlations, okay? So dairy, extremely bad. And again, here it leads to gas. Lactose leads to gas. And again, anytime we can put a flatulence reference into a slide, we'll do that. Get out and move, okay? Get out and move. And here's the great thing about getting out and move. It burns calories. It increases your muscle strength. It lowers your body fat. It boosts your immunity to fend off illnesses and disease. And it slows bone loss. It reduces stress, anxiety, depression. And it does all these other great things. And here's the best thing, and you can't really read it, but it says lifestyle exercise is equally as effective as rigorous exercise. So if you aren't in a position to go out and do any rigorous exercise, go gardening, go dancing, go walking. We got a new puppy. That puppy keeps me busy. I've walked that thing anywhere from an hour to 2 hours a day. I'm getting so much walking, going in, swimming, gardening. There's lots of lifestyle exercises that you can do, and so do that. Get out and move some more. And number 5, create a daily or a morning routine. My good friend Kevin Allen here, a few weeks ago, maybe just a couple of weeks ago, talked about his morning routine on Facebook. And I appreciated that. And that's something that I think we all can get into the habit of. And this is a nice little daily routine that I like. Get out of bed and exercise. And then if you're churchy, go ahead and pray. If you're not churchy, then just meditate, okay? Read good books. Whatever that is for you, it's not fiction, okay? Although there is some darn good fiction. In this case, it's something that's going to stimulate your mind. It's going to be something that's going to move you forward. And then you can make yourself attractive. Make myself attractive means it's time to get up, get that shower taken, do that shave, right, and get myself ready for the day so that I can meet the day looking great because I have a desire to look good, okay? Those are 5 little steps that we can do. Nutrition basics: consume high volume of fruits, greens, vegetables, and beans, drink more water, reduce and eliminate your dairy, get out and move, daily and morning routine. And if you do it, keep it simple, no feeling frustrated, no feeling deprived, and certainly no feeling hungry. I certainly do appreciate the time that you've spent with me and that you've allowed me to spend with you and share with you. If you found this fun and entertaining, educational, and would like to continue to have conversations, let me know. You can find me on Facebook, Rob Finder, And I'd love to continue the conversation there and see where we can go. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Rob Finder, everybody. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
Outstanding. Keep clapping, yeah. We'll have him back. By the way, my morning routine that you played that pretty serious, Rob. I was impressed. But my morning routine, everyone knows, is Diet Coke and a donut at QT. Everyone knows that. So I write about it every day. So thank you, Rob, for being here.
Absolutely.
A hard topic to make interesting. I think you did a great job. Thank you very much.
You.
And I hope everybody took away something that you'll do differently in the future to change your life and to feel better, look better, be better, live longer. So I think that's what Rob offers us. And I can't wait for him to continue down this path and get licensed, whatever that dream of his is. Here at Listen University, we're all about dreams and making them happen. So good luck on your journey, and we'll have you back here very soon. Thank you.
Can you just tell real fast, Kevin, and I apologize, in 3 months, just so you all know, those numbers have come down. I'm no longer diabetic. I've lost 57 pounds in 3 months. So
outstanding. He's no longer diabetic. So I wasn't saying goodbye to you like you were going to die. I don't know if that's what you felt. But,
well, I did, yeah.
No, I wasn't signing off. I'm saying, if you live a month or two, we may get you back up here was kind of what I was saying. So next week, I just want to let you know that, Rob's local. A lot of our speakers have been local, and they're every bit as good as anyone who comes from far away. But next week, I have a special guest coming in from Boise that's coming down just to talk to us. His name's Derek Bowles. He's a big athlete, and he's got a leadership foundation for youth. And he's all about leadership. If you look up Derek Bowles, it's spelled just like it sounds. Derek Bowles, you'll find his leadership foundation. This will be a life-changing talk as well as tonight's was. So bring your friends, bring your guests, bring your teenagers, because they will love Derek. He's an amazing man. I hope you'll be here with us. Thank you for joining us. Speakers Night, Thursday night. See you next week. Bye-bye. I'm the CEO and founder, and along with my wife, Robin, we've opened a new company that I think you're going to be very excited about. If you've ever wanted to be the first person in a brand new network marketing company, I got to tell you, this is it. We're not even open yet. More important than that probably is that we have a very unique product. After 35 years in the industry, we could have had any product we wanted. We know every manufacturer. We could have had powders, pills, lotions, potions, soaps, and even some brand new secret things out there that are really exciting, but it would have been Me Too products. Education is special. It's what the world's looking for today. I mean, worldwide, everybody is looking for a way to get the heads up on the next guy by knowing a little bit more. We'd like to have you be one of the first people in the company, and you've come to the right place to do that. Thanks for stopping by.